Let's play a God game, play a God game to... Wait, that doesn't work when I go even further than that. We play in God games. It's God games. Many gods, many games. Oh, the gods and the games they play. I'm gonna stop. I should stop. I probably should stop. It's fine. It's great. We have 4 God games. I thought we had more. 2, 3, 4. No, just 4. So, for God games, we have Ani Flama, Gigi, Stella Luna. You might be new to me. You know what it is? Stella Luna. I've seen Stella Luna's name in the comments, but I don't actually think we've watched any Stella Luna yet. I'm sure maybe someone will correct me if I'm wrong. As we know, my brain can be a bit of a sieve. And of course, we have Neil. And as you can probably guess, Neil's going to get her own video. For anyone who's curious why I give Neil her own video, it is because I often have so much to say about her work that it warrants its own video. Also, I can gauge how much people want me to react to Neil's work. And I want to make sure that one artist is not overshadowing all of the others, because I want everybody to have their moment in the sun. And given this is a long song, okay? Like it's a 5.5 minute song. And I'm gonna have things to say on all these God designs. So I know at least, I will say, as you can probably guess, you're only getting 3 God games this time. You will get Neil next week. You'll live, I promise. You've seen the community post, I hope. If you haven't, this is me letting you know, as editor Mad, the hilarity is that you're getting 3 God games. Because I did not realize at the time that the Stella Luna video was an MAP project with tons of different animators and artists. And I ended up, my raw footage on that, which will get trimmed down, but they don't get trimmed. My footage doesn't get trimmed down maybe as much as you think. The raw footage was almost like 49 minutes. It was like 48 and change. And it was while I was doing the review, I was looking at the time code on my phone and realizing how long it was getting. I was like, shit, this needs to be its own. I was like, there's so many artists, and I would try to say something on all the artists and their styles and everything else. And I just had a lot to say. I was having so much fun with the MAP that it deserved its own video. So you are only getting 2 in this video. You're getting Ani Flama, you're getting Gigi. You have to wait till next week to get Stella Luna's MAP, and then we'll do Neil. Did not intend it to go this way. It just worked out that way. And here's a peg for all your troubles. But let's go in and we shall see Ani Flama. Now, Ani Flama likes to do a lot with animals in their designs. I remember with Poseidon, we had the horse. With Zeus, we did the bull, which I was sort of surprised at. I thought we would go for the eagle, but the bull is imagery associated with Zeus, absolutely. But made sense when I also considered we were talking about the cows of Helios, so duh, we went with that instead of the usual eagle. The only reason I thought eagle was because we had associated Zeus with the eagle sound way back in the Troy saga, so that was where my brain was. So now I'm very curious to see, because what gods do we have on deck again? We've got Apollo, Hephaestus, Aphrodite, and Ares. Curious as to any animal imagery that could be done there. If that's the route they are gonna go. Ani Flama, I don't know your pronouns. Any route that they choose to go for this, so this will be interesting. So this video contains flashing lights, a very nude Aphrodite. Thank you, Ani Flama, for that warning. Ah, yes. Ani Flama with the Circe, with the tits out. Okay, very nude Aphrodite, got it. And slight gore. Okay, slight gore. I guess maybe for the ending bit, which we all know is my least favorite part of the whole thing. And the one part I would actively really change, that and Apollo's verse. Actually, if you were to tell me to take a pen to God games, I'd adjust some of the verses just to make stronger arguments, and I would change the ending. But regardless, Lego. Have I seen Ani Flama's Athena? Ooh, zoom right in. Ooh, love not seeing her face in the helm. Great plumage. Doing the Corinthian helm look, sorta. Ooh, that was interesting. Okay, whoa, hold on. Her shield looked like it vanished into snakes. Is that a reference at all to the Gorgon head? We talked in I believe it was JoJo's Love in Paradise, how she had the Gorgon on Athena's sort of like chest piece, if you will. And I noted that there's a lot of imagery of showing the Gorgon on Athena's shield, the Gorgon head. So Medusa's head on Athena's shield. I wonder if that's why it kind of vanished into snakes. That would be very interesting. Fascinating, fascinating. See a little musculature, I like it. Is that supposed to be like an owl feather? Ooh.
Is that what you seek?
Oh my. Height difference. Love it.
That were placed on that Greek. You are playing with thunder for a man full of shame, but if he's worth the risk of going under, why not make it a game?
Oh, interesting. We've now put, I don't remember if this detail was there in Thunderbringer, the laurel, I call them laurel leaves, but essentially the leaves going up. Now, we briefly talked about the laurel crown, if you will, these sort of leafy crowns, and that the Greeks did not just use laurel, they used plenty of others, but of course it is more associated with the Pan-Hellenic games than it is with rulership. That comes a lot later, and man, the Romans appropriate the shit out of it. Oh my god.
He ought to be released.
I think that's supposed to be an owl feather on her neck. Kind of like that. Oh, I love the silhouette work.
Hephaestus.
So good.
Aphrodite.
The shell. Okay, yeah, classic, this image, giving the very Venus, not Venus de Milo, the birth of Venus. That fake, is it? It's not Botticelli. Whatever, very famous painting with her in the shell. Love it. I really love the color blocking silhouette work. It's very punchy is the word we would use. Like, it's very evocative. Again, you don't always need to go super complicated and like super complex and like fill the screen with tons of stuff. Sometimes very seemingly simple, just color blocked, punchy, evocative images can do so much for you. And of course, she's got the doves, very associated with her. Aries. Hera was the other one I'm missing, of course, and the peacock feathers, very associated with the peacock. Which I will briefly tell the story in case anybody does not know. Hera is associated with the peacock. It was her favorite bird. Initially, the peacock, we know, has that famous sort of eye pattern on it, if you will, did not have those. That is because she had a famed servant, a giant servant named Argus, Argus. Argus was guarding poor Io, who got turned into a cow by Zeus because they were nearly caught by Hera. She knew this was clearly a woman in disguise, and she was not going to let Zeus off the hook, so she took Io and had her guarded by Argus. Now, the thing with Argus, he had 100 eyes all over his body, and only half of them would close at any time, so one half would sleep while the other was awake. Makes him the perfect, basically, guard, right? So Zeus sends Hermes to basically solve the issue. Hermes shows up in disguise as just some random dude, and he starts telling him a very long and very boring story, such that 50 of the eyes close to sleep. Like, he's literally boring this man to sleep. And then he starts also playing the lyre, the instrument that Hermes himself invented, and ends up putting the other 50 to sleep. So now that Argus is completely asleep, all 100 eyes are closed, Hermes kills him. And he whisks Io away. Now, Hera's pretty pissed when she finds out, and to honor Argus, she takes his eyes and puts them on the tail feathers of the peacock, her favorite kind of sacred bird. So, fun fact, that is why we associate Hera with the peacock. Oh, these designs are interesting. Oh, I love how tall Hera is. Ooh, look at that swirl. Very nice. And I'm sure someone might say, are you going to bitch about there not being beards? No, if you remember any of the previous videos we talked, Apollo very famously, along with like Hermes, they don't have beards. It's part of what makes them unnerving and sort of emphasizes their powers. They have this look of youth, but they are extremely powerful. They are gods. They are full grown. I like that it's all talking. There's no fighting or anything right now. Is he the king?
If that's true, release him.
Hold on, I have to back up. Oh no, it's just part of his clothing. He does have an association with a dragon, which involves the Oracle at Delphi. Ooh. He's got a bit of a beard, which I think the Hephaestus usually has. Ooh. Hold on. Going back. I want to see the prosthetic leg. I wondered if we were going to see like prosthetics or anything else to show off Hephaestus, given he is famous for his deformity, if you will. And part of why it makes sense that he's a smith god, because you would think of it in the world of ancient Greece, men, you needed to have a role. You needed to be able to actively participate in things. So if you've got a weak leg or something else like that, becoming a smith makes sense. You have an extremely strong upper half, you're still extremely useful, and you're able to essentially contribute to society. This may sound extremely awful and brutal the way that I'm putting it, but I'm trying to give context into how the society at the time would view this, and why the fact that he's the god of smiths, again, makes so much sense. We've given him a prosthetic leg. Now, we know that he does not have a prosthetic. His leg is just kind of mangled, malformed, if you will. But I'm fine with prosthetics. I think that makes sense. I think that's a fun little design choice you can do to show that. And again, him as the god of smiths, love it. He's got these big pieces for his hair, which I just think it's interesting. Everything about him feels very big, strong, solid. Again, it evokes his job, which is, again, this is the fun part of the gods' designs. You evoke their various powers, you evoke kind of what they do. Like Apollo moving around very smoothly, him associated with the music and the arts and all these other things. And then Hephaestus, strong, grounded, kind of sturdy. I like it.
Did you forget they failed to listen? He was betrayed and then imprisoned.
And I do like that we have not taken off Athena's helm. Oh, did he give her a weapon?
Fine, release him.
Nice. It's a wild sword, or whatever it was. Aphrodite in the shell. It feels so perfect. Very nude Aphrodite. Honestly, I'm not even phased. That fits. Ani Flama. As I say, I'm not even phased. The freaking dove covering up her lady bits. Well played. Well played. And unfortunately just made me think, ready for the ADHD tangent, and this doesn't even have to do with Greece. Recently, I was listening to a podcast that I particularly like called And the Rest is History, and I've been kind of going through their backlog, because they have a large backlog spanning several years. And they did some episodes on Emperor Justinian of Byzantium and Empress Theodora, who there is a lot of what we know about Theodora from her air quotes contemporaries were pretty awful to her. But she apparently did a very inappropriate sort of live show, if you will, of Leda and the Swan, which involved her putting barley in that area and swans coming to eat the barley very carefully so as not to hurt her. Yeah, sorry, that's where my brain went. We love ADHD. Damn, Ani Flama, I do forgot. You're just like, give no fucks. Ooh, I love the way she moved there. Like clouds, like foam in a way. It's giving very, actually, what I love about the hair, the way I'm seeing it move, if you ever see the beautiful animation done for Disney's Little Mermaid, the 89 animated film, the way the hair moves, her hair moves in the water, gives me this is what the vibes this is giving me, and I love it. And again, the sort of sea foam and that kind of vibe is very associated with Aphrodite.
Really, Athena? These old tricks?
Ooh, there comes the red. Ooh, he's not in a helmet. Ooh, he has his helmet. Oh, puts it on. Okay.
Kind of sick.
Love it.
Holds back his power while his friends
and I love how he looks kind of messy.
Didn't even try to kill her. Hides
Kind of a snake moving around her. Interesting. The scar on the helmet. Yeah, he looks a bit battered and bruised. Like he wears those scars proudly, but also cries like a baby when he gets them. Yeah, the snakes. This must be a reference to Medusa on the shield. Aphrodite's sitting there like, what? Why? I'm not involved. I love the expressions. Oh, but also feathers, like owl feathers. Ooh, that's fascinating. Oh my god, yeah, those two. She's going up with the elevator. And Hera. Hera, you legend. Oh, but what I really like, she also has almost like cow horns. I mean, she is the sister wife, if you will, of Zeus. What I like also is the size just sort of differential. It matches Zeus. Again, Zeus, Hera, they are Chronaides. They are children of Cronus. So the fact that they are older, they are more powerful. The size differential, I like a lot. Love the movement for her. Love the peacocks on the feathers on the boobs. Absolutely stunning costuming. Oh my god.
Never once has he cheated on his wife. Release him.
And she's got, are they pearls, I believe? Yeah. Even Hera stands apart from them, as she should. She's the generation before them.
Release him.
You've never taken off Athena's helmet, which I think is such a great choice.
No one beats
And again, the part of the song that I hate because it makes no sense. And I have to say, anyone who says, oh, well, she wounded his ego, calling out his cheating and whatever in God Games. One, she never would. Like, she never would. Two, even if she pointed it out, she would be like, it's a thing that you did, you know, in that you're making Greece better. Essentially, most children of Zeus, especially if they're men, end up being heroes. So, I mean, and that's the argument Zeus would make. But also, Athena actively participated in a attempted coup against Zeus. She was one of several Olympians who tried to overthrow him. When he won, with very little question, everyone got punished except Athena, even though she actively participated. It's not like she was hiding behind the scenes. She was there on the front line, basically saying, oh yeah, I'm in. She's the only one who didn't get a punishment. And he never holds it against her. She is his favorite. I am sad stop erasing my great Greek myth girl dads. Look, are they all patriarchal misogynists? Yeah, you'll never hear that argument from me. Like, yeah, of course they are. Duh, it's ancient Greece. But man, they were girl dads. And I love the idea. I just love my great Greek girl dad in the form of Zeus. That's why I'm always bitter at the ending section. Because I just think there was a way to do this, and you have the whole parent and child relationship, right? We've just had this whole section of Telemachus, this child who wishes he had a parent, wishes he had his father, right? To be there to guide him. Here is a child going to her parent, her father, for help because she is able to. I just think there was a better way to do this and really keep that as a beautiful parallel, especially when we start off in Troy and there is Odysseus ripping away a parent-child relationship, you know? Like, this is thematic stuff if better executed, could really resonate. I mean, and also Poseidon and the Cyclops. Ooh, Eagle to Bowl, fabulous. Love the bit of yellow coming in. Hera's like, oh god, he's mad again. Oh, and we gave her essentially the Medusa face. That is a fascinating choice. Really leaning into the Gorgon imagery. Little sparkles, the blue. Nice flashes. The flashes are pretty gentle, actually, and I'm impressed. A snake swan? Oh, her with, it's a snake owl, her with Telemachus, I guess. Okay. Strange, but alright. Choice. This is great animation. This, again, Anifama has done this in a couple places. This style of animation I love. Again, this color-blocked silhouette. There's clearly a pencil-type brush that's being used. It creates beautiful texture, creates like a graininess, a grittiness. You could almost say the word sketchiness. This is so powerful in terms of imagery. And this is so good because you get a sense of how much force she's pushing against, the brightness, the intensity, the power of what's going on here, and then how much she's exerting to get through it. This is brilliantly done. Oh, wow. And her helmet's gone.
Please let him go.
Interesting. Her all kind of scorched up, burned up at the end, a bit like a bird with its feathers plucked out. Very, very cool imagery. Very well done. Yeah, Anifama has brought in animals to use as part of their imagery frequently across all their animatics that I've seen and their designs for the gods, and I think it's really intriguing. I like seeing how Anifama uses them, and I think it was made for some great designs. Top designs really for me. I think Hera was kind of the most interesting, the way that the peacock got incorporated, how she wears this giant veil with the pearls hanging down, how she's got the size differential, basically keeping Athena in the helm for like the whole time, I thought was a great choice, because then by the end it's been taken away, but we still never really see her face, which I think is such an interesting choice. Aphrodite with the shell, I mean, very much evoking that very famous painting, which I think is so perfect. Like, absolutely roll on that imagery. I think it's amazing. And the way, the expressions of her and Ares, I think were great. That whole section, like, it looked very like, yeah, I can, like, I see it. And also with Athena, I mean, obviously bits of the owl imagery, of course, she's very associated with the owl, but the snakes, which have to be coming from the imagery of the Gorgon head that is very much associated with her and her shield and other imagery, which I just thought it was that one shot of like kind of showing the shocked, terrified, almost Medusa face. I just thought it was such an evocative image. And that, again, that last bit, that final push where it's just black and white, very I say sketchy, the beautiful texture on the brush, very well done. That's the stuff where I'm like, oh yeah. And I mean, honestly, great start for God designs. Very much I like-y, me like-y. All right, next for God games, we have, of course, Gigi, because we know Mary was never going to let me continue on past this if Gigi had an animatic for it. And all I've got, I believe, is a flash warning, so we shall see. We have now seen for Gigi. What designs have I seen? I've seen Poseidon with the Jones kind of like craggy bits, as I was calling it. I've seen Athena. I don't think I've seen Zeus. I think those are the only ones. I mean, yes, Circe as well, but Circe's not a part of this. I'm trying to think of gods who are appearing in this. This ought to be interesting. Okay, immediately starting off, this is evoking the Colosseum, isn't it? That's Roman. Now, the Greeks did have kind of round designs for their theaters, if you will, but they were often built into steps that would go down into the stage, and they didn't have often those like kind of high built walls that you think of with the Colosseum, which I will say, if anyone either lives in Europe or has the ability to go see the Colosseum itself in Rome, I do recommend it. It's great. I was able to go, and that was such a great trip. But obviously we are evoking the Colosseum, which is Roman, but it's... I see why already. Like, we've barely started, I see why. You want to evoke the idea of a gladiatorial match. I get it.
Father, God, King,
love that.
do I ask for
Excellent
favors?
plumage. I see
Now
massive
I'm
statues. Love it.
knocking
Yeah, this is
on your
very
door
much the
to seek a
Colosseum.
friendship with one who's a prisoner far from home.
I feel like there's even more detail in this Athena than I was seeing in Movie Fine.
That what you seek?
Oh my god, massive Zeus hands, okay?
You are playing with thunder.
Love that bit of animation. Fucking hands, man.
Why not make it a game?
Oh, look at the beard. Fabulous.
Each of them that he ought to
Fabulous
release.
beard. Love it.
Release him.
Love the idea that he hides behind the clouds and he's so huge. Sense of scale, sense of power, sense of weight when he puts his hands down, but then when he also just like taps his fingers, like, you know, like he's tapping them on the table, like, huh. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Apollo.
Okay. A lot of sun imagery.
Festus.
Right, if I'm gonna be Aphrodite in the shell. You have to. Okay, Ares and Peacock. Oh, I'm so curious for each of their sections. I've gotten hints of designs and now I'm ready. Ooh, love the bit. You can see the lightning like coming out of his head. Oh, that's a great design. Love it. Yeah, this is what I'm here for. I'm here to have fun with the designs. Ooh, love it. The different colors. Excellent. Let's go. All right, we completely changed color palette with each one too. Great. Love that. That's very cool. Like, she's sort of in his realm and they're up on these columns. So already, I'll see if I can pause and get a good full shot of Apollo at some point. We've given him shorter hair. Now he would, hair probably leaning around a little longer, but that's fine. I did see what looked like, I mean, he's one holding a lyre. Obviously, he's very associated with it, even if he didn't invent it. He has these earrings. I'm wondering, it looked like we were doing some sun imagery for Apollo. He is associated a bit with the sun in the same way that Artemis is kind of associated with the moon in Greek myth. That becomes way more prevalent in the Roman mythology, where Selene and Helios kind of fade out of relevance to a degree, and they lean more into Apollo. However, he does have the association with the sun, and with, you know, Phoebus Apollo is an epithet that he has, and Phoebus, yes, like the character in Hunchback of Notre Dame, he's not lying when he says my name means sun god. I mean, he's not totally right. It essentially means like bright, shining, radiant in a way, which was associated with Apollo. Anyway, interesting. As he painted nails. I mean, he's the artist. Yeah, he's got the sun like on his chest. He's just strumming the lyre, ignoring her. The shithead, kind of like younger sibling. Ooh. I like that she's taller than him too. Moving to the next one. Let me see Hephaestus. Ooh. Ooh. Did we give Hephaestus a tattoo? I'm kind of not mad at it. Though we would not have really seen permanent tattooing in Greece as something to like. Often you're talking about essentially branding. Many cultures would use tattoos essentially to denote like you're a slave or a criminal, you're part of my property. However, Hephaestus is a bit of, he would be the type, wouldn't he? Like if I put a little bit of modern spin, I could see him doing it to a degree. Again, I love how big and broad his chest is. We've given him a beard. And I'm trying to think, I am fairly certain, yes, that Hephaestus is depicted with a beard in most of ancient art. And that would make sense, again, when we talk of he's a character who is also very known for his leg deformity, if we shall, and the fact that he then, you could almost say, compensates, and it makes sense that he's then the god of smiths, as this is a way for him to contribute to society. It would then make sense that he also would have the beard, the thing that denotes him as a man, because unlike Apollo and Hermes, who are very like associated with youth, and are very, Apollo even often, one of his roles is kind of as like a protector of young men, if you will. Hephaestus doesn't have that same role. And it's just like further emphasizing that, like, don't look down on Hephaestus, and this is a god, and he is very much an adult, and he has that aura even over some of the Olympians in his generation, like more so than Ares and Apollo and Hermes and Dionysus. Like, he's got a bit more de gravitas than they do, in the same way that Athena also kind of does. So love that. I love seeing all the chains. He's working in the forge. I can't speak to that because I would argue these are probably supposed to be like iron chains. Obviously, this is the Bronze Age. We're not in the Iron Age yet, but like, I don't know enough about metalworking and smithing, so like, what the fuck do I know? Honestly. And whatever, he's a god. Do what you want, man. Love the huge eyebrows. Ooh. Love that. Ooh. Ooh. Love it. It's like an obstacle course. That looks like Thor's hammer from the Marvel movies. But whatever. I don't care enough. It's still cool. Alright, Aphrodite. Absolutely in pink. Oh, look at her. Voluptuous. Luscious. Mirrors. Okay, let's talk mirrors in ancient Greece. In Bronze Age Greece, we have some evidence of mirrors. However, they were small. Hand mirrors at biggest. They were not huge. They just didn't produce them to that because you essentially had highly polished bronze, and that's how you did it. So that's why they were really never bigger than a hand mirror. But they did have those. That was sort of what they were using like a mirror in ancient Greece. And these look like mirrors. They could be jewels for all I know. But which we do know Hephaestus would make her beautiful jewelry. I mean, look, he's trying to make his wife give a shit. Whatever, but of course the shell imagery, the pink. I mean, I expect a lot of pink with Aphrodite. I expect a lot of very curvy image lines and a lot of the shell imagery because it just makes sense. And again, that one painting has made it even more synonymous with her. I mean, it was already there. That imagery was already there. Fear not. That just became such an iconic masterwork. Ooh, look at her walking out of the mirror. A little heart on her face. It makes me think of like almost something that you would see with like the French Revolution era with the way they would do like the high or in the court with the makeup and all of that. That's the vibe it gives me. Ooh, we're shattered. Ooh, different hourglass. Yeah. Yeah, giving me a headache too. I feel you. Oh,
What kind of
there she
sick
goes.
coward holds
He's
back
not taking off his helm
while
either,
friends
which I
get
think works.
devoured? He didn't
I'm not even really
fight
seeing his
so,
face. I was like,
didn't
ooh,
even
using
try
like
to
shadows and all of
hide
the
inside a
weapons.
wooden horse to get the job
Yeah, and
done.
he's just messy.
Never
He doesn't
had to
care.
think
He's
twice,
all
but
about
then
kind
he
of
was like his
destruction.
son.
He is very much just the violent,
Hold your tongue now.
brutal
Here's
bloodlust bit of war. Ooh, I love the colors. Ooh, look at these colors. Because it creates kind of a purple, the way blue and red are clashing. I love that. Ooh, Gigi. This might be my favorite use of color from you, is the way you've done this background. Gorgeous. Beautiful. I mean, it's actually beautiful to look at, but also thematically gets across blue and red, like what's going on here. Nice. And the little bits of, and there is, I think, a bit of glow on them. These particles that are in the front, these little white particles. There's definitely a very subtle glow on them. There's a lot of great detail going on here.
that a broken heart can mend. You want more
Love those flash frames
him free to get
into black and white. They're so great.
He'll make everybody
And smart moments like that, where you can just draw the silhouette and it's just a shape. You don't have to do all the detail. Again, save your hand where you can. Moments like that, totally fine. Oh, this is a great shot. This is a great shot. I'm actually I'm gonna save that shot. I quite like that shot. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I mean, the colors, the way we've put a Gaussian blur, or a Gaussian, it's a particular blur type, in the background so that she's in the foreground and she stands out. And again, we have these particles with a slight glow effect. This is a very well composed, well thought out just frame. Love it.
really slow.
Yeah, we're out. All right, Hera.
Hey, baby.
Oh, diva. Diva, as we should look at. I mean, diva. That is literally how I imagine her just being like, bitch, it's me. Gigi, I will give you. You have perfectly encapsulated a bit of my brain, a bit in the image. Love the peacocks. Again, the framing of this image, the composition is so beautiful. It really suits. I see she's got a bit of, again, I joke, it evokes a bit of the particular kind of diadem that Disney's Hercules had Hera wear that comes up here. We've then put the veil down under it. Very nice. Again, those diadems, I think they're a bit more of a classical thing. I do not claim to be an expert in ancient Greek jewelry, whatever, but I like seeing we've brought in the basically the peacock tail, if you could imagine the NBC logo, the peacock. We've brought that imagery throughout. There's imagery of it everywhere. The peacocks, the background, on the actual diadem. This looks like it's supposed to be the eye, like the design of the feather going up through here. Consistency in design, finding distinct imagery that you're going to echo throughout a character's design. Very well done. And again, the gods are the perfect place to do this because you have like a whole like checklist of potential imagery and things you can use to bring into your design. And I like that.
So many heroes,
Oh my god, the heels.
so many tales, give me
I
one
love her nose.
why you're so brave.
You know I like my strong facial features on my Greek. Love her having a hand mirror. Oh my god, not the peacock fanning. And the peacock like blocking. This is funny. Way to play with it. That's funny. I love that. Love that. That she's, you know, making herself look fabulous. She's a little older. I can see that in her face, which I appreciate. She is older. She's of Zeus's generation. Still gorgeous. Again, strong facial features. We know I love that. Strong nose. And again, also a height difference. It's pretty clear she's taller than Aphrodite. Sorry, not Aphrodite. Athena. And that is because she and Zeus, same generation. They are also both Chronaides. They are both extremely powerful. The Chronaides of the Olympians are the most powerful.
He's kind of
Drink
funny,
some wine.
Never once has he cheated on his wife.
Ooh,
Release.
love the glass shattering. Peak. And Zeus like, God damn it, Hera. And now we're back down in purple. Okay, let's talk about actually a little fun story about purple. So famously, there is a color known as Tyrian purple. It comes from the people of Tyre, who actually end up going and become the Phoenicians, because that is essentially those who set the people from Tyre and others who go and settle Carthage. Fun facts about history you learn. However, there was a color they had that gets called Tyrian purple, and it has to do with, I believe they are like a type of, they're a type of mollusk. And you have a way to get and it's something that comes out of the mollusk, and it's a very particular process of how you get it. We're still not even entirely sure exactly how they did it. However, there are people in various parts of the world where these mollusks are who can still sort of make Tyrian purple to the best of what they understand the technique was. And it takes a lot of these mollusks to make a little bit of pigment. And this Tyrian purple was highly prized. It was extremely expensive. It was a luxury good. It's why you eventually get into like the eras of Imperial Rome where only certain people can wear purple. Very particular statuses in society can wear purple, and even then it's how much purple can you wear. And then there becomes a point where really purple becomes associated only with the imperial family, essentially. So love that we've now put purple for Zeus. Very easy to want to go yellow, which I totally understand. Yellow, thunder, all of that. However, also purple and yellow, in the same way blue and orange, opposites on the color wheel. So they go extremely well together. I feel very appropriate wearing purple today. I'm not royalty, but love it. And again, love this image of Zeus, of him sitting there on his throne. It does evoke a little bit, again, Disney's Hercules, of the scene where he goes into the temple and there's the giant statue of Zeus and he prays to him. Like, that's the vibe it gives me, and I'm not mad at that. Again, I get little flashbacks to my childhood with that. But love seeing just the lightning bolts that stick out. There's a bit of a light coming from here. Ooh, again, very great, like very interesting design choices, and use of color has been like, Gigi, I think you have popped off with color on this one. Small clap. Your use of color in this animatic is my absolute favorite across the board.
Release him.
Love the glow around the eyes too. Ooh, uh-oh. Yeah. They were keeping the lightning white. Would have been cool to get it into yellow. Love the use of glow. Oh, and I love the texturing you've done for the clouds. Okay, now we're going into a bit of kind of a more yellow. Beautiful. The way he stood up, what a great shot. Yep, here comes our eagle. Ooh, and he turns into a lightning bolt. This is gorgeous. Look at these shadows. Not the best part I could pause on for it, but the way we have really made these shadows harsh, dark, crisp lines. It's scrumptious, Gigi. Again, your use of color and light in this one. 10s across the board. Love this shot. Great perspective. He's on high. Hitting at her. She's small.
Is she dead?
Hole in the ground, yeah. Again, he would never do this. It's never gonna happen. Ooh, we're taking her helmet off now. Oh, look at her hair. Like owl feathers. Oh my god, we are in color. Oh my gosh, Gigi, full color? I'm shocked at the full color. I stand by my statement. Your use of color in this, absolutely scrumptious. Wow, that image looked almost less Greek, almost gave me what you see come out of South and Central America. I want to say like Aztec, Mayan, Incan, but I don't know enough about those cultures to specify which one, but I have been to, I mean, we can all laugh about it. Yeah, I've been to the British Museum. Yeah, all the stolen stuff. Trust me, I cry in the Elgin marbles all the time. Trust me. Or Elgin marbles. Whatever. He doesn't deserve his name properly. I'm bitter forever. But they have obviously stuff from Central and South America and these indigenous cultures. It just reminds me of some of the imagery that I've seen on those pieces. Very interesting. Again, amazing composition. Composition is just like how you've laid out the image and the way, and this is art theory, and it does feature in film theory as well. If you want examples of good composition, you go to some really beautifully shot films and pull stills from it, and you can see the art theory that is there essentially in the composition of those film images. It's essentially, it directs your eye. What does your eye see? And a lot of this will then like have almost innate subconscious psychological effects on you. It's really incredible. Gigi, you have popped off with this one in a way that, like, Gigi, you've always been good. I never take away your talent. I never say, like, you weren't talented before this. This is an incredibly complex and complicated song with a lot of players, a lot of scenes. You've moved through space. You've made it feel like one cohesive place. Each character's had the chance to stand out. All the different color palettes, the way colors have meshed and fought with each other. Again, that purple and the red and the blue, forever the most scrumptious bit of color in this whole thing. The way you have worked with light. This has been, I think, for me, from you, Gigi, thus far, of everything I've seen of yours, your tour de force. This is, for me, like, coming in the Gigi level of favorites. If I'm looking only at Gigi, this is the number one. Oh. Okay, wings. Feels almost I won't say seraphim, they technically have more wings, whatever. I like her moving around like that. Ooh. Oh, this. I love when artists do this kind of style and this kind of look and do it well. Scrumdiddlyumptious. This is my word. Scrumptious and scrumdiddlyumptious are gonna be the words of the day, guys. It's very satisfying because when done well, again, it's so evocative. I would like to hope it also gives the artist a bit of a break because you're just value blocking at that point. Just lights and darks. And in this case, one light, one dark. You don't have to do all the details, and that's fine. It is still extremely powerful and evocative. And so when done well, it really just like, it's a punch to the audience. It looks so good and works so well. And I love it here. Also love her posture. She's just down on the one knee. There's something really, again, super powerful. Like you feel the weight of all of it on her, but also feel that she's about to come out with the please, right? Again, as much as I absolutely hate this ending and the way that it goes, the imagery here and the way this has been done both by Ani Flama and Gigi's thus far has been very great. Ah, she flew back up. I was kind of hoping she'd stay down. Gold eye core. Yeah, she looks pretty. Yeah, a bunch of her hair's burned. She don't look good. But he caught her, as he should. He would be horrified at himself for doing anything to his baby girl. Oh, I love this look of the design at the end. Very cool. You know what it gives? This gives very William Joyce, one of my favorite illustrators, creative minds. And if anybody has ever seen Rise of the Guardians, the animated film, which is delightful and underrated, it is inspired by his Guardians of Childhood series, which was a book series he started writing based upon stories he would tell to his daughter, Catherine, who did sadly end up passing away, I believe, from brain cancer. However, the third book, Toothiana, Queen of the Tooth Fairy Armies. See what I'm getting at? You see it? You see a bit? Now, they'd go even further in the film in the way that she's kind of designed like a hummingbird, but that's what the design's evoking, and I like it. I also like seeing the idea sketches at the end. You know, how people start trying to imagine the character, and I like it. And I see how we're evoking bird, owl, all of that. Very well done. Absolutely, without question, my favorite one by Gigi thus far. And that says a lot because as much as I don't even like There Are Other Ways that much of a song, the back bit of it was so good to me. But this as a whole, from start to finish, even with me teasing about the Colosseum, yes, was awesome. Color, motion, moving through space, framing, composition, character design, little details, and the one moment of full color, which I did not expect, and is actually kind of the opposite of what you usually get. Most people do flashbacks, if you will, in grayscale, black and white, if you will. You don't normally see those in color. But I was just sort of surprised. It looked gorgeous, of course. I did go and check the libretto, and so I was like, wow, 2 people have done Odysseus presenting baby Telemachus. Is this a note somewhere? I did go and check Mary's libretto, and it was noted in the show notes, essentially. So I guess this was something that Jorge had made clear, is that's what's happening in that bit of the song. Cool, good to know. So I know what to expect here. Just, wow, well done. Really well done.